So, I added 3 games to the regular season. Well, kinda. Let's talk about it. So, what I did was I took the 3 preseason games and I made them regular season games. Now, they're gonna interact just like a typical preseason game, meaning that at the end of the preseason, none of the stats will count. Also, the record doesn't count. But the NFL teams in this franchise see these 3 preseason games as regular season games. They see them as a week 1 regular season game, a week 2 regular season game, and a week 3 regular season game. So, for example, I know this is weird and confusing to look at, but this is what the NFL team sees. They see this, okay, I play the Falcons on Friday, and then I play on Sunday the Miami Dolphins. I play the Texans on Saturday, I play the Patriots on Sunday. Now, reality-wise, they're not actually doing that. They're actually playing their preseason game in August. They're playing their preseason game in August as well. And then the third preseason game in August. But all of these games, what we see is just the preseason. What they see is the regular season. So hopefully that makes sense. So this is a 20-game NFL schedule. In the end, the records won't show that, but injuries will. And that's what I wanted to test today, is the actual injuries of this and how it impacts this upcoming season if they were to do a 20-game schedule. Because they've been talking about 18-game schedules, right? They've been talking about 18 games. I want to see how it impacts it. So you can see it says preseason. All of these says bye weeks because the preseason is not here. This is not the preseason. This is the regular season. It just resets. So, for example, after the first week, you would assume you would see a lot of backup quarterbacks, right? No. These are all starters. So now after the first 3 weeks of the preseason, technically regular season, now we can see the actual stats. So, for example, CJ Stroud threw 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Okay. Interestingly enough, in the first 3 games, we have a lot of teams here with 600 passing yards for their starting quarterback. We got 683. The most is 744 for Matthew Stafford here at 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jared Goff, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So on, right? So the whole point of this is that these are all starters that played the first 3 games of the season, again, through the regular season, preseason action. So now everything resets, right? It's just like typical football, nothing, out of the ordinary. Everything is pretty typical. It just resets everything, and now we get to the regular season. But again, what ends up happening here is it's still the toll on the players. So while yes, the stats and everything might reset, it's still, for example, going into the season here, Lane Johnson got hurt, Dallas Goedert got hurt, Jordan Davis got hurt. All of these guys got hurt. So now what you got to realize is you go into week 1, and it's not like the preseason where you have no one plays, everyone's healthy, everyone's ready to go. No, you have a lot of players injured going into the regular season. So that's the whole point of this experiment, to see what a 20-game schedule would end up looking like in the end here, right? So just kind of taking a look at some injuries right now and how they look, and then we're going to look at this at the end of the season to see how many more injuries happen. Because as, every single game goes through, injuries pile up more, and more. Now, what you're going to see here at the top of your screen, you can see how, for example, the Dolphins here went 2-1 in the regular preseason. So, if we go ahead and go back to schedule here, we can see that these 3 games are now on the regular season stats. Now, they don't actually count the stats, or it doesn't count the actual record, which kind of sucks. I wish it did. But nonetheless, though, it is what it is at the end of the day. I think that was kind of mess up Madden, so that's why Madden doesn't let you do it. But the actual injuries and the players playing, that stuff is still there. So, for example, all this stuff just got wiped out. But point is, you guys just saw exactly what we looked at. So, let's get now into the regular season. So, the first game is against the Chargers. It's a little bit glitchy, and it's going to be like this for the first 3 weeks, where, again, you're going to see both scores. So, it says we played the Texans. We did already in the week 2 preseason, regular season matchup. So, now we get into this matchup. So, Let's skip forward here. Bam, bam, bam. I hate simulating, by the way, offline. It is the most awful experience of all time because how slow it goes. That's one thing I want to see them improve with next year's game, is the ability to sim a little bit faster. But so far, we already have 2 injuries, and we're already week 5. So again, you're going to see a lot more injuries in this year with a 20-game schedule than you would with a 17-game schedule. So let's keep simming here. We have week 5, week 6. Slowly getting to the end of the season here. 2 more injuries here. So how many more injuries do we have? Okay, so the Eagles, oh lordy, they're falling apart with injuries. I wonder if there's going to be any, like, surprising teams that make the playoffs here. There's got to be, like, 1 or 2 that's very surprising who makes the playoffs. Especially with all of these injuries. Because I feel like this is more than typical amount of injuries. Maybe I'm crazy to say that. Oh, Jamar Chase is out. The right guard Kappa, Boyd is out. And again, these aren't updated rosters. The whole premise is just to see what would happen. Because I was kind of curious to see how many injuries would actually happen. Didn't really know what to think about or what to expect going into this game. Into this video. So let's just see how it works. Week 7 here. So far, let's see actually real fast. The standings. Once this actually simulates here. Let's look at the standings and see what the standings look like. So currently, the Jags are 7-0. The Lions are 6-1. The Titans are 5-1. 5-2, 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. Okay. Honestly, actually, well, Bengals 2-4. Wow. The Bucks are 0-6. It's not too out of the ordinary. 3 new injuries for the Dolphins. They're 5-2, and they're like losing half their team here. All right, 6-2. Play the 4-4 Kansas City Chiefs. We lost to the Chiefs. Go into our bye week here at a 6-3 record. But again, half the, like, how many players are we at this point losing, it feels like. Week 11. Okay. We lost again. We got 2 more injuries. So now into week 11. No one. Okay, Andrew Thomas. Jags have no injuries. I don't know how the Jags have no injuries when they have played now a total of 15 games in this season. I would love to know how the Jags have no injuries. All right, let's get forward. And, okay, no one crazy. No one insanely crazy there. So, let's just skip forward here. Continue week 13. And let's see how this works. Bam, week 14. Actually, no, this is week 13 upcoming. Okay, week 14 now. And I want to see going into the postseason, 2 more injuries. Wow. How many players are actually out? Like, depending on who actually makes the postseason. Because so far, it looks like Dolphins might not make it at all, actually. So, week 16, week 17, now let's go to week 18. And slowly but surely here, 1 more injury for the Dolphins here. So now going into the playoffs, Miami did not make it. But let's take a look at this. So, AFC North, Ravens went 10-7. Okay, this AFC North got decimated. Someone had to have gotten injured throughout the year there. Okay. Jags somehow destroyed. Bills took over that division. AFC West was actually pretty dang good. NFC North. NFC South. East, okay, pretty typical East. Cardinals apparently 11-6. Okay, so a little bit out of the ordinary there for this playoff picture. The Cardinals are in there. Let's go to stats here. So, let's go up to NFL. And let's go here. Okay, so Jared Goff led the NFL. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, okay. Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, Alexander Madison, okay. He's on the Raiders now. Najee Harris. Seeing Najee Harris that high up is kind of weird. I'll be honest with you. DeAndre Hopkins, Robert Woods. I mean, there's names I usually do not see at the top of the list when I do these sims. I'll definitely say that. some names here I don't usually see. Okay, interception leader. Seeing Dante Jackson in an interception leader, who's now in the Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way. That is absolutely weird as heck. All right, who won MVP? Lamar Jackson? Okay. How good did Lamar actually do? Hold up. Nah. The Ravens only went 10-7 and barely made the playoffs. 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Okay, receiving. I really do that. Very lackluster season right there for Lamar. CJ Stroud sucked, apparently. Kirk Cousins was tied for the most touchdowns. All right, so what's his playoff record look like? That's my question now. A playoff schedule. Got the Jags at number 1. Okay. Panthers in the playoffs. Lordy. Vikings are in. Cardinals are in. Raiders and Titans and Chargers are in. This is a interesting set of events here. Alright, so let's look at the injury report going into the playoffs. Keep in mind, these teams now have played 20-game schedule. The Bears have no injuries, but they're not in the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter. Bengals, though, do have Joe Mixon hurt and DJ Reader hurt. And they also have La'el Collins, who was actually technically the backup of Jonah Williams. Bills, okay, 4 players, not really any detrimental pieces hurt. The Browns got Denzel Ward, that actually got hurt, and uninjured. Status uninjured? Wait, what? Is he out or is he in? I mean, they're not in the playoffs, but still, like, kind of weird. Okay. We have Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, and they're in the playoffs, by the way, and no Austin Eckler, no Isaiah Spiller. Oh, my Lord, that's a lot of injuries. Chiefs, Trey Smith got suspended, okay. Julian Blackmon got suspended. Commanders. There is a lot of players going on here. Okay. Dolphins. Eagles have a lot of injuries. No, that's a part of this whole video. Okay, hold up. So the 49ers have Nick Bosa hurt. Greenlaw hurt. They have their strong safety hurt. Ray McLeod. Isaiah Oliver. Holy crap. Saquon Barkley like guaranteed to get hurt. That's just kind of life at this point. Alright, the Jags finally got some injuries. Seems like they weren't getting injuries at all. And now they finally got some injuries going on there. Right when you don't want to, right around the playoffs. And they're actually in the playoffs as well. Alright, so Ravens have a lot of injuries here. Zay Flowers got hurt as well. Seahawks, Steelers, Texans, Titans, Vikings, and the Bears, again, did not have any injuries. So, let's see how this ends up with the playoffs here. So, wild card, I'm just going to send him to the Super Bowl because I'm not actually in the playoffs here. But, again, I don't think it's going to really impact too much here. But let's go into the Super Bowl. And who is in the Super Bowl here? It will be Vikings versus Bills. Okay. Interesting Super Bowl, I will say. Who wins it? It's going to be Vikings. Bills destroy the Vikings. These are both teams that have lost 4 Super Bowls. Both of them actually have. Believe the Vikings have lost. Yeah, Vikings lost 4 Super Bowls and the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls. So, it ended up being Josh Allen versus Kirk Cousins. Okay. And Justin Jefferson had himself a good game, but got absolutely demolished. So, that's what happens when you play 20 games. I didn't know what to expect going into this video, but a lot of injuries. That's what we got leaving this video, pretty much. So, guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to just go through all these injuries here to end off this season. Obviously, players came back through the playoffs for non-playoff teams, but yeah. Peace out.